In this video, we will solve a practice paper for paper code 0625. It's a Cambridge IGCSE board. A length of a string is measured between 2 points on a ruler. When the length of a string is wound closely around a pen, it goes around 6 times. So what is the distance once round the pen? Here we have to first measure the length of the string, and it is 15.5 minus 2.5 here. So length of a string is 13.5 centimeter and total number of turns 6. So width of one turn is equal to length of a string divided by total number of turns. It is 2.2 centimeter. The graph shows how the distance traveled by the vehicles changes with time. Which row describes the speed of the vehicle in each section of the graph? Here P2Q, so we can see that the gradient is constant here. It's a graph between distance and time, and the gradient of distance time graph shows you the speed. So here speed is constant as its gradient is constant here. And for QR, distance does not change with time. So ds over dt is 0, speed is 0. And for rs, again the gradient is constant, speed is constant. And for your information, if I ask you, what section gives more speed, PQ or RS? So it's definitely PQ, as PQ is more steeper than RS. Which statement about the mass and the weight of the object is correct? They are both affected by changes in the acceleration of free fall. So here no. Since mass is an intrinsic property of particle, not dependent on external circumstances, while weight is determined by the pull of gravity on it. They are both forces? No. Weight is the force of gravity on that mass, and mass is the amount of matter in a particle or object. See, they have different units. Yes, this is the right option because SI unit of mass is kilogram and SI unit of weight is Newton. Again, let's check what D says. D, weight is calculated by dividing mass by the acceleration of free fall. No, weight is calculated by mass multiplied by acceleration of free fall. So option C is right here. Two runners take part in a race. The graph shows how the speed of each runner changes with time. What does the graph show about the runners at time t? So at time t, it's a graph between speed and time. At time t, you can see the speed of both runners is same. So both runners are moving at a same speed. Option A is right. Two objects P and Q are placed in a beaker containing a liquid. Object P floats in the liquid and object Q sinks. Which row for the densities of object P, object Q and the liquid is possible? We know that if the object's density is more than the liquid's density, it will sink. And object Q sinks, so its density must be more than the density of the liquid. And if it is less dense than liquid, then it will float. Option D fulfills all the criterion here. The density of object P is less than the density of liquid, so object P floats, and density of object Q is more than the liquid's density, so object Q sinks. Option D is right here. A student hangs different loads on a spring. The diagrams show the length of the spring with different loads. Which row gives the correct extensions of the spring? So we know that extension is equal to final length minus unstretched length. Unstretched means when there is no load, when load is 0. So we can see this is the unstretched length of the spring, it is 3 centimeter. Here when 2 Newton mass is hung at other end, the total length of the spring is 6 centimeter. So extension is 6 minus 3, it is 3 centimeter. And for case third, it becomes 9 centimeter. So 9 minus 3 is 6 centimeter. It means 0, 3 centimeter and 6 centimeter. Option D is right. A beam on a pivot supports a load P at one end and a load Q at the other end. The weight of the beam can be ignored. The beam is balanced. Which row gives possible values for P and for Q? So we know that if beam is balanced, it means the clockwise movement is equal to the anti-clockwise movement. Now P, force multiplied by the perpendicular distance 30. This is the clockwise, this is the anti-clockwise movement, is equal to Q multiplied by the perpendicular distance from the pivot 70. This is the clockwise movement, and they both are equal. So P by Q is equal to 7 by 3. So option B gives you the same ratio, 21 by 9. A hole is made in a square tile of uniform thickness. The diagram shows the tile hang on a nail. Where is the center of gravity of the tile? So we know that for a geometrical shaped object, the center of gravity lies at the center of the shape. So A, B, C, D, 4 points have been given. Option D is the right answer because D points show the center. Which source of energy is renewable? It's wind, obviously. A man climbs a ladder. Which quantities can be used to calculate the useful power of the man? So we know that power is equal to rate of doing work, dW by dt. And the option C is right, the work done by a man and the time taken only. A student uses her thumb to push a drawing pin into a notice board. The pin goes into the board but does not penetrate her thumb. Which statement explains this? Here we should understand that pressure is equal to force per unit area. So a smaller surface area of the tip has a smaller surface area. Smaller surface area of the tip generates more pressure, and the larger surface area does not exert as much pressure as the drawing pin. So the pressure, the option D says the pressure of the pin on the notice board is greater than the pressure of the pin on her thumb, as thumb is in contact with the larger surface area and the tip of the pin is contact with the notice board. Two identical fish tanks are filled with water to the same level. One tank contains fresh water and the other tank contains seawater. This is a tank with fresh water. This is a tank with seawater. Seawater is more dense than fresh water. Yes. Which fish experiences the greatest pressure? We know that pressure is equal to rho GH. Rho is the density, G is acceleration due to gravity, and H is depth. So the density of seawater is more. Now we have two cases here, B and D. See that the depth for D is more. So answer is D. The fish at D experiences the greatest pressure. The diagram represents particles of a gas inside a closed container of the constant volume. The gas is heated. What happens to the particles of the gas? So when a gas is heated, its molecules start moving at a much faster speed and resulting an increase in pressure within the container holding the gas. So option D is right, they move faster. When using a microscope to look at the smoke particles in air, Brownian motion is observed. What causes the smoke particles to move at random? Brownian motion is the random motion of a particle, and this random motion is a result of collision between particle and the surrounding molecules. So smoke particles are hit by the air particles. Option A is right. A glass bottle has a metal cap. The cap fits very tightly and is difficult to remove. The cap and the neck of the bottle are lowered into the bowl of hot water. The cap can be removed more easily. What happens to allow the cap to be removed more easily from the bottle? So obviously glass is not a heat conductor and metal is a heat conductor. Glass is an insulator. Metal option B is right here, that the metal cap expands. Thank you for watching this video. For more questions, we will upload a next video very soon. Keep watching and please like, share and subscribe, and please write your feedback also. Thank you once again.